King Harris going at 50 Cent over the algorithm record has set tongues wagging across the internet. The footage, combined with weeks of back and forth between the Harris family and 50 Cent, has turned what started as a versus disagreement into something the culture has not stopped talking about. So, let us walk through exactly how King Harris ended up confronting 50 Cent and what led to this moment going viral. On March 7, 2026, 50 Cent posted a new collaboration with Max B called No More Tricks, No More Tries on social media. He posted the song to Instagram with the caption, "I am the algorithm." That caption alone was enough to set off a chain reaction because by this point, the feud between 50 Cent and the entire Harris family had been building for weeks. Many listeners believe that some of the words on the record may be aimed at longtime rap. While no name is mentioned directly in the main verse, the tone of the track suggests that the Gunnet leader is still comfortable addressing his critics through rap. Now, King Harris, T.I and Tiny Harris's 21-year-old son, had already been one of the most vocal members of the Harris family during this beef. The running feud between King Harris and 50 Cent added another entry this week when the younger rapper released a new diss track only hours after 50 Cent's latest single appeared online. Harris posted the song titled Drop Top to Instagram, signaling that the conflict between the two camps remains active. But the new footage that has gone viral takes things beyond just music. King Harris responded to 50 Cent's "I am the algorithm" post, and the footage shows him addressing 50 Cent directly. This is not something that came from nowhere. It came from weeks of escalation. King had already been on record on camera and on Instagram going at 50 Cent repeatedly. The algorithm post was simply the latest trigger. To understand why this moment went viral, you have to understand the full picture. This was not a random outburst. This was the next chapter in a beef that had already involved diss tracks, deleted posts, family members, and even threats of a documentary. The long-simmering rivalry between New York rap icon 50 Cent and Atlanta's self-proclaimed King of the South, T.I, has erupted into rap's biggest beef of 2026. What started as a failed versus battle proposal has spiraled into a full-scale war of diss tracks, family involvement, and social media chaos. So when 50 posted "I am the algorithm" alongside new music, King Harris took that as yet another shot and his response. The footage of him confronting 50 spread across social media within hours. The comment sections lit up. The repost numbers climbed, and the conversation about whether King Harris was right or wrong became the dominant topic in hip-hop overnight. The reason the footage resonated is simple. People had been watching this beef build. They had seen King Harris make threats. They had seen 50 Cent mock the Harris family. And now, with the algorithm record and caption acting as a provocation, King Harris responded in a way that felt like a collision the internet had been waiting for. It was not just a response. It was a confrontation. And the internet treated it accordingly. The footage spread across every platform. X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It became the top trending topic in hip-hop. And it raised one big question. How did things get to this point between a 21-year-old and one of the most established figures in rap history? To answer that, we have to go back to where this all started. The entire 50 Cent versus T.I beef of 2026 can be traced back to one thing. A versus battle that fell apart. The spark that lit this wildfire was a versus battle that never happened. T revealed on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast hosted by Jilly Kid and Wallow that he and 50 Cent had been in talks to face each other in a versus battle, a side-by-side catalog showdown. According to T.I, the two were aligned and excited about celebrating their catalogs together. Then, without explanation, 50 Cent backed out. According to the Bring Them Out artist, he and 50 Cent had been speaking about a versus battle for years and were looking forward to celebrating each other's catalog, which is why he was confused that 50 was publicly declining him. T said on the podcast that he and 50 had a plan. He added that the two of them were going to begin hyping up the battle, starting with T's call out, which then 50 would respond to, but that's not what ended up happening. When T.I made his public call out, 50 did not play along. Rather than address it privately, 50 took to social media to play dumb, acting confused when asked about the planned event, leaving T publicly hanging and, more importantly, publicly embarrassed. T was not quiet about how he felt. "We talked about this. We said what we were going to do." T told the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast about his issues with 50. "When I jumped out there, he act like he ain't know what the FK was going on. Just say you don't want to do it. All this other extra lame-ass man. This goofy." He added before confirming the virus between the two would never take place. He said, "I have no interest in standing on stage with him. I don't respect him. That right there changed the temperature of the whole situation. T.I was no longer interested in a celebratory event. This was now personal. And 50 Cent, rather than taking it to a record, did what 50 Cent does. Rather than responding with music, 50 Cent did what he does best. He trolled. Fifth flooded social media with jokes, memes, and pointed posts aimed at T and his family, particularly targeting his wife, Toma, Tiny Harris, and son, King Harris. Now, this is an important detail. 50 Cent did not just go at T. He went at T's wife. 50 Cent appeared to respond by posting an unflattering image of T's wife, Toma Tiny Harris. He also posted memes involving King Harris. The origins of their feud escalated once 50 posted an old video of T online, followed by subsequent memes dissing the Harris family in total. This is the detail that matters most when it comes to King Harris getting involved. 50 Cent did not just go after a rapper. He went after a family. And when you go after someone's mother and someone's younger family members on a public platform with millions of followers, you open a door that is hard to close. T.I responded with music. He dropped War first, then he dropped Right One, then he dropped Lessons, then he dropped What Bully. T has now released 4 diss tracks. War, The Right One, Lessons, and What Bully. The tracks were consistent, pointed, and direct. Online commentators and rap critics described Lessons as one of his strongest performances in years. Tip sounding genuinely hungry and reinvigorated. But while T.I was handling it on wax, something else was happening. Somewhere in between the diss tracks, King Harris jumped into the equation to leap to his mother's defense. And King did not hold back. Not even a little bit. King Harris, the son of T and Tiny Harris, entered the ongoing feud between his father and 50 Cent on February 22nd with a fiery selfie-style video that quickly went viral. In the clip, King fires back at 50 Cent after the rapper posted an unflattering photo of Tiny Harris on Instagram. He directly invoked 50 Cent's deceased mother, Sabrina Jackson, and demanded he post a photo of her grave instead. The video amassed over 7 million views on X within hours of being posted. That was the moment King Harris went from being T's son in the background to being a central figure in this beef. The response was immediate and divided. Some people felt King was defending his mother and doing what any son should do. Other people felt he crossed a line by bringing up 50 Cent's mother, who passed away when 50 was 8 years old. When 50 Cent posted unflattering images of Tiny Harris, the Harris household hit back hard. King Harris, T, and Tiny's son responded by wearing a t-shirt bearing the image of 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in an apartment fire when 50 was just 8 years old. That t-shirt became one of the most talked about images of the entire beef. King did not just mention 50's mother. He wore her face on his chest, wearing a black t-shirt printed with an image of 50's late mother. He raps, "How dare you talk about mamas and your mama in the grave? Dig her up then put her under," while lighting a blunt and gesturing toward the shirt. King, 21, also dropped a disc on the same day as Demony. He shared the record, another disc directed at Fifth's late mother, while wearing a t-shirt with her picture on it. King's brother, Demony, also got involved. Demony backed up his brother with another 50 Cent diss track titled Pew. He refers to 50 as a cornball and an informant while landing haymakers for punchlines. And here is the thing. Demony Harris reveals he and brother King Harris didn't speak to T before responding to the 50 Cent drama, saying he felt the message was too good to keep on the hard drive. Demony Harris says he and his brother King Harris jumped into the 50 Cent situation without looping in their father T first. That revelation is significant because it means T did not orchestrate his son's involvement. King and Demony acted on their own. They saw what 50 was posting about their mother and they responded without waiting for permission or a game plan. For King in particular, who already had a reputation in certain circles for being confrontational, this was not a calculated PR move. This was a reaction. King Harris, the Atlanta rapper's youngest son, took to Instagram in defense of his mother with several posts pointing out 50's prior beefs, the aftermath of his 2000 shooting, previous accusations of domestic violence, and more. King went through 50 Cent's history. He did not just make a diss track. He went through receipts. He posted about 50's past. He posted about 50's relationships. He posted about 50's legal history. He turned his Instagram into a full investigation of 50 Cent's life and his followers ate it up. The engagement was massive. Then came the diss track Drop Top. In the track, Harris delivers a pointed lyric aimed directly at the veteran artist. "You were made from 50 cents because your mama gave it cheap." King captioned the post by calling out 50's new music directly and framing his response as the next round. This was not just a son defending his mother anymore. This was a 21-year-old rapper trying to establish himself by going directly at one of the most famous names in hip-hop history. And depending on who you ask, he was either brave or reckless. While King and Demony were firing shots, T had his own perspective on the situation, and it was more complicated than people expected. During a sit-down with the hosts of the Ebro Laura Rosenberg show, T reflected on his son's disses to 50 Cent after the Queens rapper trolled the Harris family with a picture of Tiny. "No, I don't enjoy it," said T in response to a question about if his kids' responses were enjoyable. "I spent so much time trying to get this Lil NA off the ledge. Now he has justifiable means to undo all of the teaching that I've been teaching." That answer is telling. T was not celebrating King's involvement. He was concerned about it. Though he didn't want King caught up in the mess, T did express how proud he is of how King and Domani have protected their mother. T tried to walk a line. He acknowledged the loyalty. He acknowledged the defense of their mother, but he was also clear that he thought things went too far. The trap pioneer admitted that he felt things went too far in his war with 50 Cent when King Harris posted a photo of himself wearing a Rick Ross-approved t-shirt featuring 50's late mother who passed away when he was just 8 years old. That is T, a father, saying publicly that his son crossed the line. He did not condemn King entirely, but he did not co-sign everything either. He landed somewhere in the middle, which is probably where most parents would land in that situation. T said, "I'm a logical, reasonable man of respect. I raise my children to be men of respect. Logical, reasonable, and not to be emotional. The one thing that I am proud of this is that the women and children in our family see that it's a line of men that's here against who the __ ever." Meanwhile, when TMZ caught up with T and Tiny on the street, T tried to downplay the whole thing. "Man, that side so last week, man. We got the #1 song in the country. Let him know." And there is a reason T.I could say that with confidence. T.I is back in the Billboard Hot 100's top 40 for the first time in more than a decade with Let Them Know, which reached a new peak of number 38 on the March 7th dated chart. The song, part of T's retirement album, Kill the King, is currently #1 at Urban Radio and on several charts from Instagram to Billboard. So, T.I was winning on the music side. The beef had actually given him a boost whether he planned it or not. The controversy put eyes on his music and the music delivered. Now on 50 Cent's side of things, there were several moves happening simultaneously. First, 50 ultimately retreated and moved on from mocking T.I and scrubbed his social media of all posts tied to the Harris family. He deleted the memes. He deleted the posts about Tiny. He wiped his page clean. But then 50 did something else. 50 Cent has finally addressed the rumor that is working on a documentary about T and Tiny Harris sexual assault allegations. On Thursday morning, March 5th, the rapper-filmmaker posted a screenshot of an article that claimed he was developing a documentary tentatively titled Surviving T. 50 Cent hinted at the idea on Instagram while addressing T.I directly. "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc? Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're going to ask about your 20 sexual assault cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." That post changed the conversation. Suddenly, this was not just about rap and diss tracks and memes. 50 was hinting that he might use his platform as a documentary filmmaker, the same platform he used for the Diddy documentary to go after T.I and Tiny. And given 50 Cent's track record with documentaries and his relationship with stars, that was not an idle threat. Then on March 5th, 50 Cent released the Power Origins theme song with shots at T, Tiny Harris, and their sons. The track, "No One Told Us What We're Here For"ing Leon Thomas, contains bars that reference T's family and the sexual assault allegations against him and Tiny Harris in the theme song 50 Cent raps. "I'm back on my dope boy grammar. Your daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta. Freak size dice. Peeps size dice. Peeps size dice on the low." But everybody know the lyrics were unmistakable jabs at Tiny and the couple's legal troubles. So 50 Cent did eventually respond on a record, just not in the traditional diss track format. He embedded his shots into a TV show theme song, which is a very 50 Cent move. He found a way to attack and promote at the same time. And that brings us to the moment that started this entire conversation, the algorithm post and King Harris's confrontation. On March 7th, 50 Cent dropped No More Tricks, No More Tries, featuring Max B. With that now famous caption, the track appeared online after 50 shared it with fans on social media, showing once again that he still understands how to grab attention in rap culture. Posting the song to Instagram, 50 kept things short but confident with the caption, "I am the algorithm." The production behind No More Tricks, No More Tries, leans toward a soulful hip-hop vibe. The instrumental carries a smooth yet tense mood, giving both artists space to deliver direct lyrics. As expected, when 50 Cent teams up with Max B, the focus quickly turns to the bars themselves. Many listeners believe that some of the words may be aimed at long-time rap. The tension between the two artists has been simmering for years in hip-hop circles. Although the original issue started around discussions of a possible verse battle, the rivalry has continued to resurface through comments, interviews, and social media posts. The energy in No More Tricks, No More Tries fits that storyline. King Harris, who had already dropped Drop Top just hours after 50 Seconds Power Origin's theme song dropped, was not going to let the algorithm post slide. The footage that went viral shows King addressing 50 Cent over the algorithm release. He took the caption in the song as a direct provocation. And given the weeks of hostility that preceded it, it is not hard to see why. The footage spread for a reason. People had been following this beef closely. Perhaps the most compelling part about the recent friction between 50 Cent and T is that it's now turned into an intergenerational feud. That is the hook. This is not just two rappers from the same era going at each other. This is a 21-year-old going at a man who has been in the rap game longer than King has been alive. And that dynamic, the generational clash, is what makes the footage so compelling to people. This marks the second instance of 50 Cent engaging in conflict with a rapper's son following a 2026 feud with Christian King Combs. So 50 Cent has found himself in this position before tangling with the next generation, and each time the internet pays close attention. Now where does this all stand? For now, the dispute continues to unfold through music releases, social media posts, and public commentary with no indication that either side plans to step back. 50 Cent has not directly addressed King Harris on a record by name. He has not acknowledged King as a threat or a peer. His approach has been to continue releasing music, continue promoting his television projects, and continue dropping hints about the surviving T.I. in Tiny documentary. That is 50's playbook. He does not engage on the terms other people set for him. He sets his own terms. King Harris, on the other hand, has shown no signs of slowing down. He has dropped diss tracks. He has posted videos. He has worn provocative clothing, and now with this latest footage going viral, he has placed himself at the center of the conversation once again. T has tried to move on publicly. He has his hit record. He has his retirement album on the way. Look for his Final Kill the King album to arrive sometime in April. He has spoken his piece about the beef and about his son's involvement. But even as T tries to transition into the next chapter, King Harris keeps pulling the story back into the spotlight. T said, "The only thing I have to say, it's very unfortunate, but honestly, I wasn't here to defeat. I was here to defend. I'm just happy that the women and children in my family know that there's a line of men that's ready to stand and protect from whoever against whoever." And that is the crux of this whole situation. T.I. sees this as defense. King sees this as defense. 50 sees this as entertainment and business. And the internet sees this as content. The footage of King Harris confronting 50 Cent over the algorithm record went viral because it sits at the intersection of all those perspectives. Whether you think King Harris is right for stepping up or whether you think he's in over his head going at a man with 50 Cent's resources and reach, the footage has done what viral footage does. It has kept the conversation going. It has kept people watching, and it has made sure that this beef, which started over Verzu that never happened, is not going away anytime soon. 50 has yet to respond on a record specifically to King, and it looks like he won't be doing so anytime soon. But with the algorithm track, the Power Origins theme and the documentary rumors, 50 is clearly not ignoring the Harris family either. He is just choosing his own battlefield and King Harris. He has made it clear he will show up on any battlefield. The footage proves that. The viral numbers prove that. And the fact that we are still talking about this proves that whether by design or by instinct, King Harris has managed to make himself impossible to ignore in this beef. This story is not over. Not by a long shot. And if the pattern holds, the next chapter is probably already being recorded, filmed, or posted somewhere right now. That is where things stand. Stay locked in.